You are now watching The Queen Chioma. So hey guys, I'm back with another video. So today's video is another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be talking about the Clermont twins. And I know I've done a video on them in the past, but I actually wanted to bring them back up because they were recently trending for their transformation through plastic surgery and all of the different procedures that they've done to their face and body. And I think it's actually worth rehashing because we are really in a sick day and age where people think that manipulating your body to conform to a standard of unrealistic beauty and artificial beauty is literally goals. And it honestly bothers me, not because I'm a hater like people like to say, but because the type of mindset that this puts on the future society, like kids that are younger, as well as younger women who are consuming these images and consuming the imagery that they see, it really serves as a detriment. And it's like when you speak out against it for whatever reason, people always like to tell you that you're a hater, you're a pick-me, and that you should be uplifting women and supporting women. How about we tell people to not support, uplift, and be so positive towards things that are not worth uplifting, supporting, and being positive towards? Like, honestly, there has to be a line that you draw when it comes to this stuff. Nobody is saying that plastic surgery or having a nip and tuck or any form of procedures that is dealing with beauty is wrong, because we'd all be hypocrites, because as small as makeup may seem to some people, it's still some form of manipulation, even though it's not permanent. And then you can go all the way up to permanent or under the knife procedures that people get. But if there are things that are making society really have to question the mentality of everyone, those are things that are actually worth talking about. So I wanted to get into this because there was a picture that was leaked of the Clermont twins sitting at the airport. And from this picture, although it is kind of grainy and blurry, you can clearly see that these girls look a hot mess. And people are going to say it's hating and putting down black women and whatever, but look at their faces, look at their bodies, look at their lips, look at everything, even look at their hair installations. I mean, these girls on Instagrams will flaunt the most expensive designer bags, drip head to toe. I mean, head to toe. It's not just bags anymore, you guys. Like, it's not just bags. It's sunglasses. It's the mini purses. It's your shoes down to your shoelaces, the type of underwear that you wear, undergarments, all has to be designer. And you see these people on Instagram, they always look a certain way. They always seem to be well put together and well off. And they're always basking in luxury. And shout out to Black girl luxury, but abusing Black girl luxury or just abusing luxury to maintain a type of presence for social media to impress strangers is definitely not Black girl luxury, okay? So let's not get the two misconstrued. But anyway, these girls are sitting at the airport ready to catch their flight, probably to Dubai, because they probably going there to sell their poom poom and get pooped on. No tea, but all shade. And the way how they responded was as if somebody said something wrong to them. Now, what I don't like about this is that people act as if now when you call this out, there's an issue. We have to be able to be very responsible as a society, especially as young people who are teenagers, early 20s, 30s, early 30s, because this stuff does affect not only the younger generation, but the current generation of young people. And I feel as though people want to just kind of write this off as, oh, it's no big deal. They have the choice to do what they want. Well, duh. They made the choice, and no, there's nobody that can really change it. But the effect that it has does matter, and it's worth talking about. My whole entire issue with this is that these girls literally are facades, okay? They're fake, they're inauthentic, they are artificial, they are not real life. And because, like I always tell people, the internet is not real life, it's a false reality, it's a simulation of how people want to portray themselves from head to toe. And that could just mean in a simple picture, or that can mean your entire social media presence. I mean, people really go hard trying to maintain an image on social media for strangers. And people may say, oh, well, you know, I just post for myself, or I'm getting this for myself. No, ma'am, because if you're gonna post it on social media, it's now for others. Social, meaning society, meaning other people, that does not make it for you, okay? Now it's for everybody. So the Clermont twins clearly have botched faces. I talked about this in a previous video. They've changed their whole entire body, and you know, there's a limit to how much you can do that's gonna be deemed as, okay, we see you, you've done enough, you look great. And then when you go borderline crazy, that's what they're at now. The Clermont twins, to me, were beautiful women prior to the surgeries. And I'm gonna be real. Some people want me to just do this whole uplifting and, they're still beautiful women. I just don't foresee that. Like, I don't see these women as anything to exemplify as it relates to beauty. I like the fact that they are tall. I like the fact that they are dark. I like the fact that they are who they are, and I will give them their cheese and crackers and cakes and all of that for that. But when it comes down to what they're actually selling, I'm not gonna subscribe, and I'm not a fan of that. And the backlash that they received then warranted them to, of course, be petty and say things like, we don't care, and y'all are so perfect on this internet, and this, that, and the third. No, nobody's saying they're perfect, but we're definitely saying we don't look like that, because you're botched, okay? You're botched. When your face and your body does not look human and does not look some form of natural, and even if it doesn't look natural, it doesn't look adequately or minorly enhanced, you're botched, okay? It is what it is. There's obviously the show on E! Called Botched, and you see people come in there with different types of bodies and different types of, things that have happened to them through cosmetic surgery. But the Clermont twins are botched, and they know that they're botched, hence why they're always so defensive. And I feel like what happened with them is the mentality of Instagram and social media got into them at a very young age, even though they are not much older than me, but they've been around on social media and TV for a little while. They literally turned 21 on TV. So if we're being real, when they did Bad Girls Club, they were only 20 years old, and 20 is super young, right? So they really have been immersed into social media and getting their clout and their followers for a little while, but they got it when they were really young. So in order to keep up with the Joneses, or, in this case, really keep up with the Kardashians, their mindsets have been severely impacted by everything you see on the internet. And because a lot of this stuff is lucrative, meaning that you can make a fortune and you can really feed your family and live comfortably by doing what you do, a lot of people like to choose that evil, okay? Unfortunately for them, it has cost them their respect. It has cost them their reputation. And the number one thing that it has cost them is their body. And everybody always talks about how your body is your temple, which it is. You only get one body and you have to protect it. And they feel as though there's two of them, so they're more marketable, which is true. And that automatically kind of erases any type of backlash or anybody speaking against them. And it doesn't, okay? So ladies, when you're thinking about getting these procedures, even if it's small, you have to think about long term, because a lot of us think we can just change a little something here and there, which a lot of us can. But you have to remember that there's also some people that can't stop. People do get addicted to social media. People do get addicted to surgery. And there's people who really cannot control how far they're willing to go to get to a certain look. And it may seem like, oh, I have this perfect idea of what I want to look like and how I want my body to appear and how I want people to see me and how I want to be perceived. But when you're dealing with this type of mental illness, because honestly, this is what it is. To me, it is body dysmorphia. You don't even know when you're actually going to stop, because the real tea is you're never satisfied. I don't think the Clermont twins are satisfied, because without the makeup, without the filters, without the designer, without the wigs, they look terrible, okay? Let's be real. So they're not going to be satisfied. So they're going to continue to do what they do, because yes, the money is the motivation, but also chasing this idea of perfection is the motivation as well. And nobody's perfect. God did not make anybody perfect. Everybody is an imperfect human being. And that's what people fail to realize when they're going and they're striving and they're using all their money, time, and effort chasing an image that doesn't really exist. And I do feel like the idea of filters and being able to just like edit our own pictures has severely impacted not just this generation of women, but this generation of people, young people, old people, it doesn't matter. People are consuming imagery that isn't really a true perception of who they truly are. Hence why people say, oh, that person's a catfish, or they look a certain way on the internet, but in real life, they don't look this way, or whatever it may be. And if we're being real, in real life, you're not always going to look perfect, whether you're a pretty girl or not. Your breath may stink. Your hair may not always be done. Your clothes may just be something you threw on just to go to Walmart. And it'd be damned when somebody sees you when you're looking your worst, or when you're not looking what you look like on Instagram. And now we have issues like this with the Clermont twins. I feel like the Clermont twins have to really just take a step back and say, like, is it really worth it? And to them it is, but there's going to be a point where they hit rock bottom, and people may think like, oh, they're secure, they don't care, they're doing what they're doing. Their whole entire thing was to become this bimbo effect and this bimbo look. But at the end of the day, changes are going to happen. Trends do not last forever. Things are considered fads. Things will be in style and out of style. And with a generation that's run on social media, our trends change way faster than it did 5-10 years ago, okay? Like literally we can be on something this month and next month we're on something completely different. And people talk about, oh, the 90s era where you would wear baggy jeans and plaid and graphic tees, and that's considered 90s. But think about it. What exactly is considered the 2000s or the 2010s or the 2010s, or even now we're in the 2020s, is considered the Instagram look. And that Instagram look is solely focused on the body and the physique of a woman and the aesthetic of having this lavish life. And that's not really a fashion trend, that's a lifestyle thing. So people are really adapting their lifestyles to adapt to a whole different lifestyle that they may or may not have. My thing is this, I feel like we really do have to take a step back as women, especially because we're getting out of hand, okay? We are getting out of hand. And I know a lot of times we like to say, oh, well, you know, it's the pressure from men and it's the pressure from society. And especially us black women, we say it's the pressure of having that historical context of not being good enough, being too dark, too big, having too big of features, hair not being this way. But we have to just say, deep down inside as women, as young women, it does begin with us, okay? Because we are perpetuating this. We are consuming this imagery and we are not taking care of our internal and our mental to say, hey, there's nothing wrong with me that I don't have to change. And I'm not saying don't go change your body or your lips or your hair or your eye or whatever. Do whatever you please. But understand that trends are trends. And at some point you have to come to reality of what is your intention? Who are you trying to please? And are you truly going to be happy deep down inside with what you choose to do? A lot of these choices that women are making to change their body and, you know, adapt to this Instagram aesthetic is permanent. But the Instagram aesthetic and the trends that we have are not permanent. And I feel as though we are serving ourselves a true detriment because at the end of the day, we're not doing this for ourselves. We're doing this to please others. And anybody who says, oh, I did this for myself is not really being truthful, because if you did not have the influence of others doing it, you probably wouldn't have it in your mindset to do it as well. The Clermont twins to me are truly way too far gone and they're deep into what they're doing. And I don't think that they can be fixed. Like when you've done that much work, I don't think you can come back from that. And that's really unfortunate. But look at that. When you see what they truly look like on an average Tuesday afternoon at the airport, it doesn't match up with what you see on Instagram. And a lot of young women are not considering that because they're consuming too much content that does not equal reality. Let's come to reality with ourselves, because we're going to end up the generation that didn't even have anything other than falsities, inauthentic lifestyles, and trying to please others and not being happy within ourselves. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. What are your thoughts on this? Don't forget to follow me on all my social media networks, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
They say my drip is so much they had to get a couple ponchos. Now I'm getting chips and they nacho. I'm a time for pockets full, I'm -6 no Toronto. I knock you down like dominoes, then dip on y'all like bombing. I'm the 1-1, I'm too much. Trifecta, I'm 3 much. Full play, eat a nigga up like it's free lunch. Toupee, I stay on your head like a weave on. NMP, the whole city gonna know what we on. They do what I say, but my name is not Simon. Fly like an eagle, Jason Peters, I'm the lineman. On fire like the Amazon, but I ain't in my prime yet. On fire like the Amazon, but I ain't in my prime. And now I'm